For nearly 2 decades, Daniel Brooks kept a small, white envelope hidden in the top drawer of his desk. It was addressed to him, handwritten, with no return address, and he never, ever opened it. The letter arrived the same week Daniel left his small town in Texas, determined to chase a bigger, better life in New York City. At the time, he was consumed by anger at his past, his family, and most of all, at his younger self. He looked at the envelope and thought, whatever this is, I don't need it anymore. And so he tucked it away, out of sight and out of mind. Years rolled by. Life happened. Daniel became what many would call successful. He had a nice apartment in the city, a good job with a demanding title, and a schedule packed from sunrise to sunset. He was a machine of productivity. Yet, in those quiet late-night hours when the city's noise faded to a distant hum, a persistent feeling would surface. Something felt unfinished, incomplete. It was a faint whisper he could never quite silence. One evening, while packing up his apartment for a move, the old desk drawer got stuck. He gave it a hard pull, and everything inside spilled out. The small, white envelope tumbled out and slid across the polished wooden floor. Daniel stared at it for a long moment before picking it up. The paper felt different now. It was old, the edges softened by time. The ink had faded slightly. After 20 years of determined neglect, for reasons he couldn't explain, he finally decided to open it. His fingers trembled slightly as he broke the seal. Inside was a single folded sheet of paper. The handwriting was his own, but from a lifetime ago, it was a letter written by his 17-year-old self. The first line hit him like a tidal wave. If you're reading this, it means you made it out. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. He kept reading. I hope you're not tired all the time. I hope you still laugh until your stomach hurts. I hope you didn't forget why we started. The words on the page blurred as his eyes filled with tears. The letter wasn't a list of goals or grand ambitions. It was a plea, a hope. The letter continued, I'm scared right now, really scared. But I believe in you. I believe you'll do amazing things. Just please, don't become someone who only survives. Become someone who truly lives. Sitting on the cold floor of his empty apartment, surrounded by boxes, Daniel Brooks finally broke down. He cried. Not tears of regret for what he had failed to achieve, but tears of recognition. He was mourning the distance he had allowed to grow between the driven man he had become and the hopeful boy who had once believed so deeply in him. He had been so focused on climbing the ladder that he'd forgotten to look at the view. He was surviving, but was he living? The next morning, Daniel did something completely out of character. He called his boss and took a day off. No excuses, no fabricated illness. He just took the day. He walked through the city with no destination, no phone calls to make, no emails to answer. He just walked, noticing the architecture, watching the people, feeling the sun on his face. He called his mother not to check a box, but to really talk. Later that week, he signed up for a pottery class, something he'd wanted to do for years, but always told himself he was too busy for. These were small changes, almost insignificant on their own, but they were real. They were intentional. A few months later, Daniel took that old, precious letter, placed it in a simple frame, and hung it on the wall above his new desk. It wasn't there as a monument to his regret or a reminder of lost time. It was a promise to the boy who wrote it, and a promise to the man he was determined to become. Because sometimes the most powerful motivation we're searching for, that spark we think we've lost, isn't in a book or a podcast. It's in a forgotten corner of our own hearts, written by a version of ourselves who never, ever stopped believing in who we could be. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that hopefully makes you think and feel. See you next time.